Close Club, where you at?
Hey, what's up, Janiyah? How you doing?
I'm good, how you doing?
Good.
No, it's fine.
Now we gotta start over.
All the way over?
Yeah, I thought I was recording.
Oh, you weren't recording. Dang.
So I host an event called Super 16 All-Star Games, and we go across the state, select the top players, boys and girls, middle school basketball, and they ball out. In 2019, this young lady comes through and is smashing heads and taking names. She won the MVP honors at that event, and afterwards she just decides to become one of the most prolific players in Oklahoma. So as a freshman, she begins to win awards. As a sophomore and junior, she's winning all type of awards from Oklahoma All-State, All-City, you name it, she did it. She has gained national attention in the national media, and she is here today in front of me, and she's one of the top players in the country. So let's welcome to the ROK Podcast, Edmond Memorial point guard and Oregon commit, Janiyah Williams.
Yep.
What's up, Janiyah?
What's up?
Again.
Yeah.
So we had a little technical difficulties, so we had to start over. So that's my bad. Hey, I'm still learning, but we here with Janiyah Williams, and so what's going on with you now? You
Came here from a
worked
workout.
out? Okay.
Ate some tropical cafe. Just came straight here.
Tropical Cafe.
Took a shower and came straight here. So yeah.
Okay. So travel ball season is over. Now you're in the high school basketball.
Yep.
Kind of tell me what's going on with that. Just team camps and stuff.
Just team camps and things like that. A lot of workouts, and then just getting ready for travel ball to start back in July.
Okay. So July. So coming back around to July, who you're playing with? Your travel ball
Lady
team?
Jets. Yeah.
Lady Jets.
Yeah.
Is that that's Jason Terry's
Yes, sir,
organization?
Yeah.
Jason Terry. Yeah. So how's school ball going as far as your team camps and clinics and stuff like that?
It's going pretty good. I feel like we're gelling pretty well. And it's definitely been cool to see like all of our like underclassmen come in and step up and just gain confidence throughout the summer, because this is the best time to do it.
Yeah. Just
developing and gelling, getting our chemistry up as a team. So.
Are there any new people coming through, new transfers or anything like that? The transfer portal is is going to be hot, and has anybody talked about coming to Memorial that you know of?
No, not. I don't think we're gonna get any transfers. I think it's just gonna be our squad we have right now. If we do, I mean, it's not a bad thing.
Not a bad thing,
so,
right.
Yeah.
Well, good. So before we get into much more of your sports part, tell me about Janiyah Williams. Tell me about where you were born, where you from.
Yeah, I was born in Stillwater. I grew up there for a majority of my childhood. Moved down to Edmond when I was 14, 15 after freshman year. Kind of grew up, bunch of siblings. I have 11 siblings, 7 brothers, 4 sisters, and I'm the youngest. So it was always very competitive in our house.
So they pushed you around a lot?
No, I was doing the pushing.
You doing the pushing? Okay.
Yeah.
You had the muscle.
This story like my siblings like to tell me is like I was chasing around the backyard with rakes or whatnot. So apparently I was a demon.
Yeah, I ain't messing with you. You should chase me with a rake. Yeah. So what are your hobbies? What do you do when it's not basketball? What do you do?
Lifting. I like
Just
to
lifting?
lift. That's like a hobby for me, actually. And then I play the guitar as well.
Wow, okay.
And then I like to read, listen to music, just hang out, really. That's just what I like to do.
So tell me about your parents. Both of them, I know you mentioned they were pretty athletic, so tell me about mom and dad.
Yeah, my mom, she played basketball, softball, she ran track, and she was also in band.
Okay.
Hence the music abilities, I guess.
Oh, from the guitar, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
And then my dad, he ran track, played football. I think he played basketball too in high school, maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
So you got a lot of siblings. So did all of them play sports? Most of them?
All of us pretty much.
They had to, huh?
Yeah.
And you got a brother that's playing at Baylor University right now.
Yeah.
Tevin. Yeah. So how's he? Has he been back for the summer at all?
Yeah, he was here just recently for his birthday. So he was here for like a couple weeks. So he's back at Baylor doing summer school and working out.
What schools did you attend in Stillwater? So your elementary and your, like, I guess your middle school was Stillwater Middle School. did you have any role models or any people that motivated you or pushed you along the way?
Yeah, like my parents, they definitely they're definitely a big motivation for me, and they push me all the time. I didn't really have any like role models. I always just kind of was doing my own thing. Like when I was like, even when I was younger, I was kind of always off to the side, just doing me for real.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've just kind of always been like that. Yeah.
Okay. Did you have any significant challenges growing up? I mean, as far as fights with your brothers?
Yeah.
I mean,
honestly, not really.
Not really?
I was kind of a bad little kid, not gonna hold you.
okay.
I was always doing something.
Okay.
That's
okay.
why my parents put me in Taekwondo, because I was always bouncing off the walls and just being aggressive for no reason.
Gotcha.
So I guess anger and aggression is one of those. Yeah.
I got you. How many sports did you play growing up?
2, I guess. Count Taekwondo, martial arts. I've always just been basketball, really. That's just always what I've done.
Okay.
I remember my parents tried to get me to play softball. It was like t-ball because I was younger, and I ended up just like crying, running off the field because I didn't want to do it. So my mom had to bribe me with a toy from Walmart so I could
At least
hit
try
the
it.
ball. Yeah.
At least try it.
So yeah, I played a little bit of flag football growing up. I was actually pretty good at it. I would have played tackle football, but my mom wouldn't let me. So
I can see you playing too.
Yeah.
You're pretty athletic. Do you remember who your coaches were back in the day?
For majority of my, I guess, basketball career, my coach, Coach K, yeah, I just remember her like going to her camps when I was young, her just teaching me things, her paying attention and just pushing me to be the best version of myself as a person and a player.
So she coached you in high school as well?
Yeah, she coached me freshman
Stillwater,
year.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So do you ever recall a time in the game where you were just frustrated and you just didn't want to play anymore?
Didn't want to play anymore. I feel like sophomore year recently, like after transferring down here from Stillwater to Edmond, I faced like a lot of injury, like with my hip and things like that. And definitely I was disappointed in myself because I didn't live up to the expectation. Like I wasn't playing how I knew I could play. And just like, also like everyone's expecting me like be like all-star, and just like, so it was definitely a tough time. But I got through it. I definitely questioned it, but, just have to remind myself why I'm here and been doing this for so long. There's no sense of giving up anything for something as silly as that. So
yeah. So when you were little, when you were younger, did you ever secretly punch somebody in the game, like elbows?
Honestly, not really. If I'm being honest, like I've always like just felt bad if I accidentally hit someone. Like still,
Okay.
like I always just feel bad. Like. And no one usually like irks me. Like it's pretty hard to make me mad. I make myself mad all the time.
I've seen you get a little mad.
It's only me who
can
can make myself mad. Everyone else, I'm just like whatever. But
yeah. So you remember playing in the Super 16 All-Star games?
Yeah.
And like I mentioned before, you won MVP. You were an MVP, and when I first saw you trying out, I'm like, man, all of us, we were like, man, this girl can hoop.
Yeah.
She's gonna be the next. Superstar in the state of Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And fast forward into now, that's what you were. That's what you are. And so, tell me about your experience when you figured out you were selected to play in it. What were your thoughts?
I remember being really excited, honestly. I was definitely nervous because I didn't know what to expect. Because before that, I haven't been to like very many like basketball camps, like outside of like Stillwater and whatnot. So it was definitely different for me,
Gotcha.
And just like a different level of competition. But yeah, when I got selected, I was pretty excited. Always being around like a bunch of my friends, like around Oklahoma, growing up with all those girls playing basketball, so I was familiar with all of them. So it's always a fun time.
As a freshman coming into from Stillwater, going into Stillwater High School, what were your expectations as far as playing time? Did you get in and just started just going to work or what?
Pretty much. That's kind of how it was.
Okay.
Obviously, anyone has to earn their minutes, especially if you're coming in. But as soon as you prove that, it didn't take me very long to prove it just because I've been around those girls for so long. Like since I was in 3rd grade, I was practicing with the high school girls and playing with them. So Coach K, we had a good relationship, like built that since I was little.
Yeah. So when you came in there, you were You didn't have anybody that you looked up to as far as like when you were playing as a younger, like 8th, 7th, 8th grade, playing with high school girls. Were any of those girls that you looked up to that you thought were just like, oh man, I want to be her when
basketball wise? Like I've always just kind of tried to be my own player, my own person.
Yeah.
But just people wise, like I always just wanted to talk to a lot of those girls because they were just fun to be around.
Yeah.
And they always treated me pretty good. So,
what brought you to Edmond Memorial from Stillwater?
So it was just like a better fit for me overall. I feel like it was a pretty good move, like basketball wise and just like coaching wise. Like Stillwater, Coach K, she passed away from breast cancer. That was just like a really tough time, and I just feel like coming out to Edmond was definitely the best decision. Just to kind of like get away from Stillwater and just have a new spot, new scenery.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. So you mentioned your hip injury earlier. Is that one of the challenges that you had in high school? Like you had a hip injury after your freshman year?
Yeah. Just because like it was complications with my growth plates.
Okay.
I've always had trouble with those.
Okay.
They're always getting inflamed and whatnot. So that's always been a struggle for me. So yeah, definitely my hips and my knees. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know about the knees. When did you realize that you were going to be so good that you were going to play at the next level?
I didn't really realize it until probably 8th grade summer going into freshman year. When I got my first offer from OK State.
Okay.
I didn't really.
That was your first offer from anybody?
OK State.
Okay.
Yep, my first one. Just like that summer, like watching those colleges at the sideline, we had a baseline full of coaches. Like they're watching middle schoolers, like a bunch of D1 Power 5 head coaches on the baseline. So I was like, okay, I know a lot of them are here for me, and like some of my teammates was like, okay, I can definitely probably do this.
Yeah, you better. Yeah.
And then after that offer, I was like, okay, it was like a relief in a way.
Yeah.
Just like, okay, I know what I'm doing. I'm obviously doing something right. So.
And so I remember, I don't know what tournament it was, but you were playing in out of town. I think you were in Texas. And, I was talking to your dad, me and my cousin Bones, we were talking to your dad, and, he was just really frustrated that you wasn't getting recruited or looked at. Yeah. And I said, Mr. Williams, this girl can play.
Yeah.
You ain't got to worry about nothing, and you don't have to worry about nothing. I'm sure she will get offers coming soon. And then sure enough, I mean, they just started rolling in. And I text him. I said, what'd I tell you? So he said, you right, coach. So I'm going to ask you this. I know you're a superstar and everything, but have you ever scored a basket in the wrong goal?
No. No, I've never done that. I don't think I've ever done that one.
Have you ever had any embarrassing moments in high school?
Yeah.
Tell me about a few of them.
That's what, like, when you, like, airball or, like, miss pretty bad, you're like, well, dang. Like, I'm pretty sure when I was younger, like, I airballed a free throw. Yeah, airball and free throws, that's probably, like, the worst thing you can possibly do. Yeah. I haven't done that in a while, thank God.
Have you ever just tripped and fall running down the court?
No.
Just nobody tripped?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
So during your time, or during your high school career, how do you balance schoolwork and basketball?
I'm a pretty good student. I finished with a 4.2 weighted GPA, 4.3 weighted GPA.
Okay.
Like all my AP classes.
Student athlete. Okay. There you go.
Yeah, student athlete.
Well, that's good. So you take that pretty serious.
Yeah, I take it pretty serious. I don't like school, but
me either.
I have to do it. So I'm
something we had
to
do. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I always try to get all my work done in class because I know I'm not going to do it outside of school. Yeah. Like, I just know myself. Yeah. If I'm getting home, like, I'm going to do it when I get home. That's never going to happen. So I just have to finish it in class, which usually isn't that difficult for me to do.
Right. I assume you watch college basketball.
I do.
Okay. This past year, who was the one person that you like to watch? Or name a couple of people that you watched.
I mean, Caitlin Clark, obviously. She was just getting buckets. Cameron Brink. I mean, I like Camila Cardoso. She was hooping too. Angel Reese, Flau'jae Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's so many.
Just the top 10 they were choosing in the draft.
Yeah, Malaysia Fawali.
Oh, yeah, she's
a bucket.
Yeah.
She's tough. There's just so many good players, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. It was fun to watch this year.
It was definitely great, and it was a good year for women's basketball.
Right. Yes.
Making it go up, and up.
Yep. If there was one player that you would model your game after, who do you think it would be?
I feel like outside of college in the WNBA, one person I can think of is Jewel Lloyd.
Okay.
I feel like we kind of play similar. And Skylar Diggins-Smith, I feel like we play similar. Like, we're all able to get to our spots pretty easy, especially like the mid-range jumpers and like being able to score on all 3 levels and just shooting off one leg, fading, all that other stuff. So
yeah, you are one of the very few that I've seen as far as girls playing that you elevate so high on your jumpers.
Yeah.
And you like you mentioned, you jump off one, and like your fadeaway, your dirt shots. And, well, nowadays, what is it? Jokic. Yeah. So, yeah, you're one of the very few that will just come up and just pull up and get, 2 or 3 feet off the ground, seems like, on those jumpers. So that's good stuff. Tell me what's the weirdest thing that you've heard a spectator say during a game that you've played? Or a parent or a coach.
I've heard a lot of crazy things. A lot of crazy things have been said to me. I feel like in high school, the student section, they love chatting to me. They love talking to me.
Other student sections or yours?
Other student sections.
Okay.
Yeah, just like derogatory stuff I can't say on here.
Of course.
I've just heard some really foul things. I can't say any of them on here.
I got you.
There's been like one instance where I have said something back. It was at Owasso. We were at their place. They were just chatting. It was a close game, OT. I didn't have any points in the first half. In the second half, I had 17 points in the second, and then went to overtime and, got the rebound, just dribbled up, and I just ran over to the student section. I was just chatting.
I'm assuming you won.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just chatting.
Run over there when you lose.
Absolutely not. Like, I'm not that petty, but yeah.
So with all the accolades and awards that you've won in the recent years, what goes through your mind when you see all of that? When you see it and you hear it? And
I don't know. In a way, it's just an expectation for me. Just to, like, I just hold myself to such a high standard. I guess now I'm used to it in a way, which I'm very grateful to say that. Like, I'm just used to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So when you've gotten all the awards as a sophomore and junior, that you can still get them as a senior as well. You have another year of playing. Yeah. And so that's exciting to see that. So right now, who pushes you to be the best?
Myself.
Yourself?
All the
Self-motivated?
All the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you have, do you set goals or like a scoring goal or a rebound goal or steal goal or anything like that every year?
All the time. Like, per game, like, I'm always trying to try to hit 20 at least. That's 5 points a quarter. Like, when you put it, like, you break it down like that, it's so much more easier. Just like, just got to get 2 buckets here and then 2 buckets there, and you're good.
It'll add up. Yeah.
And just, I'm always trying to rebound the ball. Always trying to put my teammates in good situations. That's just what I do. When
you're having a bad game, so say when you're not hitting your goals.
Yeah.
And you still win.
Yeah.
What does it bother you?
I'm always just angry at myself, especially like bad shooting games. Like, it happens. I'm definitely been a lot better at that. Just trying to like you're not gonna make every shot. Some games you might not be able to hit the side of the White House. So, it happens. But if we win, we win. I feel like I'd be definitely more frustrated if we were to lose and I didn't play well, because in a lot of ways I would just probably blame that on myself. It's like, I could have done something better.
Right.
Oh, I could have scored more. I could have done this and that, and we would have won. So
pushing up to college. Well, we haven't gotten to college yet, but where you've had a pretty healthy recruiting process so far. Yeah. And you mentioned Oklahoma State was your first offer. And how did you feel when you received that? What went through your mind? What happened? Where were you?
It was my first visit. My first visit was OK State, unofficial.
You're right there in Stillwater. Might as well,
Yeah. We were touring the dorms, I remember. This is when Coach Littell was still there.
Okay.
We were touring the dorms, and we were in, like, one of the little apartments. It's not even a dorm room. It's just an apartment.
Yeah, basically.
And he was like, doing, like, the talk coaches give you, like, so this and that, and they say what they like about you, and why they want here. And he's like, I want to offer you a scholarship. And I remember being like, oh. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Bet. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was definitely really excited. Went and got some Happy Buddha after that. Celebrate. Love Happy Buddha. Go back there.
Happy Buddha. Were you, I know we talked about you weren't after you saw all those coaches on the baseline and watching you and stuff like that, you said you didn't have any worries about recruiting because you knew offers were going to come and stuff like that. Everybody handles the recruiting process differently. How did you handle recruiting? Did you get phone calls or did your parents talk to them, or how did that work out?
Usually I talk to the coaches. I was trying to call people like every week.
Calling the college coaches?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because that was before they could contact me, I had to call them, and they had to go through like my coaches to get a hold of me. So yeah, before like June 1st of my junior year, when they weren't allowed to call me, I was just trying to call every week. That didn't work out just because like I was stressing my own self out. I was like, okay.
Did you get in touch with any of the coaches?
Yeah.
Like just very few, or?
Yeah, I try to talk to everyone pretty often. I was like, okay, I'm just going to stress myself out with this. And then definitely had to set boundaries. Like, this is when I want to talk. This is when I'm not. And I had to learn to, like, when I don't feel like talking, I don't have to. So it shouldn't be an obligation for me to pick up the phone. It's like, hey, just send a quick text. Like, I can't get with you right now.
Makes sense. Were there any unexpected challenges or surprises during your recruiting process?
How stressful it was. I was always stressed. I was just always stressed, especially, like, in the thick of it, like, had like 30 plus offers and it got to be too much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And everybody's wants to give you the world and roll out the red carpet for you. And I mean, I can imagine. So obviously Oregon is your final commitment.
Yes.
Tell me about the other 4 that you were considering.
I'm pretty sure it was
one was Oklahoma State, right? Or
OKC, Tennessee. I don't even remember. That was the top 3 though.
That was the top 3.
That was the top 3.
Okay. So tell me about Tennessee.
Great school, great history, good coaching staff. Obviously, Coach Kelly Harper, she's not there anymore. But yeah, that was just a great school overall. Good crazy fan base. So it's a good fan base.
I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then OK State, Stillwater, hometown. There's just a lot that comes with that one, and it's close to home. But ultimately, like Oregon, I just feel like it would be the best for me to get off and kind of do my own thing. And also, like, such a good program. They've done so many good things in the past, and really I'm excited to see what they do this year from all their, like, new transfers and everything like that. So just Coach Kelly has always had a pretty solid organization, and it's just great. It's just a good school, good program, good state. So Eugene's a good city.
So Oregon?
Yeah.
So when you get there, you went on an official yet, or have you?
I have.
Okay.
I went on official.
And I know that's kind of the home of the guy that produced Nike.
Yep.
So
I feel like just walking around the school, you'll be like, yeah, this is Nike now.
This is Nike.
Yeah, it's
Nike University. That's where you're going to.
It is the Nike, like the Nike school. So
what made you finally choose Oregon?
I feel like after my official, even all my officials, like, okay, this is probably where I'm gonna pick. I just kind of had it made up in my head already. I was like, okay, this is definitely the best fit for me. I got along with the girls that were there the most. Like I got along with them pretty well, and nothing felt like fake or rehearsed. It all felt pretty natural, and so that's definitely important for me. I can't play basketball somewhere where I'm just gonna be miserable all the time.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
As far as your recruiting process, what advice would you give to others being recruited? As far as like from freshman year, what advice would you give to athletes?
Probably just to not stress and not worry about all the offers. They're gonna come. If you're doing the right things, they're gonna come.
Yeah, you gotta play. Yeah.
Obviously. And also just holding yourself to a high standard, and I don't know. And especially on the court, doing all the little things, because that's also where it comes from. Like, if you can't just only be able to score the ball, or just can't only play defense. Like, say your shot's not falling, well, you got to lock someone up on defense, because you have to still contribute. Take it one step at a time and take your time with it. If anyone's trying to rush you to commit, don't do it.
Yeah.
Just
Trust
take
the process.
your time.
Yeah.
Take your time. If they want you, they'll still be there. So.
Yeah, absolutely. What are NIL? Name, image, and likeness. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's great. I feel like you have all these athletes putting their bodies on the line every day, and and ultimately generating income for
Yeah.
a school and the NCAA, I feel like it's only right that
Absolutely, yeah.
they get some cash in their pocket. So
Yeah. I remember back when I was in college, I think it was 1998. The first NCAA football game came out. I think that's what the date was, and I see number 4 on the screen playing. So I'm playing, and I'm like, man, they making all this money. I didn't think about that at the time, but I'm like, I'm excited just to play with my person on the game.
Yeah.
So, man, what type of deals would you look for, like outside of basketball? Like, what type of deals? Like, man, what would you promote? Like shoes, Nike.
I definitely want some shoes deals, health deals as well.
Health, okay.
Like the supplements and like all of that good stuff, recovery. Yeah, like shoes. It'd be cool to get a deal with Gatorade. That'd be pretty dope. Yeah, anything I can get, really. I'm not really complaining. Like, money is money.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. But all money ain't good money. Have you heard that?
Yeah, that is very
So,
true.
yeah.
Obviously, I would never collect cash just if it goes against like my beliefs or morals.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I mean, hopefully here in the near future when you get to college, I can strike up an NIL deal with you as far with my brand, and hopefully you can help my brand grow.
Yeah,
So
I got you.
does Oregon do they have like a program in place like for athletes, like where they get a certain amount comes into the college and they get paid a certain amount, like a
stipend?
Well, not the stipend. I guess the NIL, every school's getting a program. Yeah, basically. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Oregon has that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So did they talk to you about that?
Oh, they have. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you a question about. So this is you're a little probably too young to see this movie or hear about this movie, but have you heard of the movie Back to the Future?
I've heard of it. I've never watched it.
You never watched it?
Yeah.
Okay. So you need to watch them. It's good.
Okay.
But in this movie, there's a guy named Michael J. Fox. He has a friend that's a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
He's a weird scientist, is what he is. He invents a time machine. So Michael J. Fox gets in the car. He drives. When you hit 88 miles an hour, it goes to wherever that date was that set on the computer. Say if you were able to go back to the future, back to the past, and see your freshman self or your elementary, middle school self, that you see that all the stuff that you've gone through now, that you could take precautions or handle things. What would you tell yourself back then?
Probably take that headband off. That thing was glued to my head.
Which
I
one,
didn't even
the
take my headband off. That thing was literally, it was like on my hairline recede because I had it so tight. It's finally growing back though, thank the Lord. Probably just like tell her to chill out. I feel like middle school me had too much energy. It's always just doing too much.
I believe it's always good to be over energetic, have energy.
Sure. Rather have too much energy than none at all. You'd rather be around someone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So my last question for you is, so I think you kind of know basketball games, football games, different contests. It's all about momentum. Yeah. Momentum. You can have momentum the whole game and just blow folks out. Momentum shifts during the game that could happen. I know you're very young right now, but can you give me a time in your life where you had a momentum shift, whether it was positive or negative, in your life?
I feel like in a positive route, probably in the 5th grade when I injured my knee. I was out for 9 months. I couldn't do anything. I feel like at that age, it gave me a little bit of a different perspective. It made me realize how much I enjoy basketball. Same thing like sophomore year. I was like, man, I really want to just play. Yeah. And it just gives me a different outlook on things. Makes me not want to take things for granted. And so like after that injury, I feel like I wasn't always a great offensive player. I feel like when people hear that, they're always surprised. Like I always couldn't shoot the basketball that well.
Okay.
And I was always kind of a little bit timid on the court as well to shoot it. I mean, looking at me now, it's like I could never imagine myself being timid.
I don't see that. I've never seen you being able to not shoot.
Yeah, but after that, I kind of just had like a new confidence in a way, and it definitely was a crucial moment in my basketball and playing career for me.
Okay.
So yeah.
Nice. I appreciate you, Oregon commit, and Edmond Memorial point guard, Janiyah Williams. And, just look, be sure to subscribe, like, share everything that you do on social media that you do anyway.
Yep.
Until next time, let's rock.